Resetting, decluttering, and starting the new year on a fresh note can lead to a more fulfilling and intentional life, and this is according to the energy alchemist, Kate Moia.
The new year almost feels like a new era because we are in such an important time of awakening in our world. And so spiritually we are on high speed at the moment on this major spiritual trajectory of advancing ourselves, of removing the matrix. So when you're talking about declutter, all I'm hearing is about finding your true self and removing the many masks of the matrix. The illusions of this world are being made known to us. They are being exposed on a mass scale, yes? And I think the notion of decluttering has to be one of a quest to know your true self. Because the clutter that we speak of in our lives, so much of it comes from putting on heavy, burdensome masks that are actually not our own. So much of it comes from having to conform to societal norms, to being, a slave in the economic system of capitalist domination, and all kinds of gross inequalities, never you mind coming from, apartheid and extreme colonization to neo-colonization. The suffering is so real, and there is no room for any falsity in the world anymore. There is no room for anything fake anymore. It's all coming undone, just like Hollywood is coming undone. And our, the masks that we have chosen to put on in South Africa are the clutter that we have chosen to inherit in our country, are so much a legacy of the West, even in terms of how we have adopted the Western culture of hip-hop and pop, and the way we portray ourselves on social media and the way we relate to the world in terms of music, and is unauthentic because of that, right? So I think declutter has to begin with the quest of knowing who is your true authentic self? Who am I? If we are not asking that question, how are you ever going to begin decluttering anything in your life? Because you are decluttering with some purpose of feeling freer, feeling happier, feeling more love, more joy, more peace, having better relationships, experiencing abundance. These are the reasons why we even think of declutter in the first place. There's a load you want to lessen, right? So we can't even begin to lessen that load until we understand where the load is coming from, how we created the loads in our lives, and how so much of that load has come from the matrix. So my advice to everybody in this amazing dispensation of transformation spiritually and energetically is to truly empower yourself with that quest of knowing who you are. And from that place, beginning to declutter the masks that you've put on that don't serve you, that are not for your highest good. Spirituality, even my own path, evolves. So as a teacher, as a medium, as a spiritual practitioner, as an energy practitioner now, my own work has evolved, my own ability to connect to other realms has evolved. And so how did I end up becoming this energy alchemist with such certainty that this was my path? Quite simply, for me, the concept of energy is universal, and it cuts away all of the systems of brainwashing that we have been groomed into within the matrix that can be sometimes helpful, sometimes, supportive, but very confusing at times in terms of your relationship with God or Source or creation energy, right, which is all around us. So the beauty about energy alchemy is that it's not religious. It's not based on these systems that can sometimes be misused and manipulated for crowd control. It's really about enabling you to connect with your very own energy body system, which we all have the innate wisdom of, but have forgotten it because of the masks, because of the things we've learned that we need to unlearn. So much of this is about really going back to ancient indigenous core practices based on nature, based on the elements of nature. And if you're ever looking for God, or if you're ever looking for that relationship with Source, there is no better place to tap into than your own body temple. There is no better place to seek out than nature itself, which is our greatest teacher, our greatest wisdom holder. They hold so much knowledge that it will surpass going to any person or institution or place that might be convoluted with ego and misinterpretation that creates distance between you and your relationship with Source. So the concept of energy alchemy is really about you understanding the energy world at its most fundamental level, and you being able to tap into your own light and your own wisdom, because that's the clearest and most truthful place to find it. So my work involves really just holding space for you to do that, clearing out the energetic debris for you to do that. And because I understand how to connect with the lower realm and the upper realm, I'm able to hold a space and even create a space in a room energetically that can facilitate that shift for you. So I do that through one-on-one sessions, and that can be quite helpful if you need the personal support to go through that journey. And then I also do workshops, which is the Soul Oasis one-day workshop, which is just literally a taste of how to be able to do these things for yourself. So it's an experiential day where I'm not only creating the energy that shifts the room, but simultaneously also teaching you skills to be able to do it yourself. So it's really an experience day to tap into your energy system and learn the modalities at a very basic level. It's almost the planting of the seed of this journey. And we are busy creating an online course that will teach a lot of these principles so that people who want to go on this path of learning to empower themselves and to understand their own energy and spiritual body can learn about it at their own pace online. And then I will be doing retreats next year, which is really more of an immersive experience and journey out in nature. That will focus on specific themes like, you know, really healing and empowering the divine feminine energy will be one of them. And the other retreat we are doing will be around the sacred sites in South Africa. So that it is a culmination of working with nature and the elements of nature, like the rivers and the mountains and the trees. This is my wisdom keeper right here, making a lot of noise because he wants to be included. So it's a beautiful way, it's a beautiful almost dance with the energy of the elements that surround us and learning to tap into your own. And that really is the philosophy behind this energy alchemy. And the main teaching behind energy alchemy is that you transform your pain and your suffering into your light, into your potential, into your purpose. And so that is a journey. But for me, what other journey is worth going on besides that? Because that's truly the reason why we're here.
Her sessions enables one to take a step back to evaluate where they are and where they want to go. They also give you permission to let go of any burdens or mindsets that no longer serves you.
So there's so many different things that I could do in a session that depends on you and where you are at and what the need is in that moment. So having walked this experience of understanding how entities manifest in the body, that has obviously become a part of my own purpose in clearing those entities for other people. But I might do a cord cutting if you've been in a relationship that is so entangled that the imprint of that energy of that ex is still affecting your life and is still sitting in your energy body, in your field. controlling your thoughts, where you cannot let go of the past, those types of things. But it could also be a session where I'm just, doing spiritual surgery, perhaps from some negative energy that your body is holding on to, perhaps from a real surgery that you had. So the modality varies and differs based on each client and each situation before me. But the essence is that I would always do an intake at the beginning of the session to understand more or less what the issue is at the beginning. And then I would go straight into the bulk of what I would do in the session is energy work. So identifying exactly where the energy blocks are sitting, identifying if there are any psychic issues coming up that need to be worked with, and of course simultaneously channeling any spirits that come through in the session. So it's truly a culmination of all of those things, and there's no two sessions are the same.
As the end of the year approaches, many people find themselves reflecting on the past 12 months and considering ways to improve their lives in the coming year. The idea of resetting, decluttering, and starting anew can be an invigorating process that sets a positive tone for the year ahead. Kate tells us about the importance of decluttering one's energy. Snazo Noto, SABC News, Johannesburg.